non-availability of talent. So big statement to make. And when I walked into the office, I realized that I am inheriting a HR department which didn't exist. So I had to type out my own apartment letter. So first senior level interview, I was interviewing a guy and I asked the PO to bring water. He said, "Malik ने बोला कमरे में पानी नहीं पिलाना, वहाँ जा." This is ridiculous. So from there to this year, we were judged as one of the top 10 manufacturing companies by Hewitt as the best employers. So the journey has been exciting. As she said that we broke the norms right from day one. So the first thing we said is that why do you need cement people? Business is business. The business guy should know how to make money, not how to make cement. Make cement, people will make. So we set up a corporate office where we, hired people. There were times when I was didn't get my leeway to hire people from outside the industry. So except on the core vertical of cement manufacturing and project setting, for everything else we have hired people from across the industry. We have hired people from Sterlite, Malaco, Airtel, ICICI Bank, paint, lubes, tire industry. You name an industry and we have hired people from. So in the last 3 or 4 years, if you see, our top line has grown at a CAGR of 28%, our bottom line has grown at a CAGR of 61%, our people strength has grown at a CAGR of 51%. One of the reasons we could do this was because me and my boss didn't know anything about the business. Yeah, so we would fall flat on our face and we'll get up and run. So committed mistakes on the way, yes, a lot. Hiring mistakes, yes. So one of the reasons, one of the things I would like to share with you is that as recruiters, last 2 years we have seen people, a lot of people, even at the middle and I wouldn't say top management, but senior management certainly, giving false information on their credentials. I didn't believe it had to be happening in India, and whenever any credential verification search would approach me, I would dismiss it with saying, how can somebody tell a lie about his degree here? How can somebody tell us a lie about his vast experience? Believe you me, it happened with me as recently as 2 weeks back. My head of HR of the civil business called up and said, what's the problem? What happened? He said the head of HR for the sales business whom we hired 2 months back. I said, yeah, Ranjan, his father met with an accident and you tell me that he lost his father. No, boss, all that was a fraud. This guy was weeping with me on the phone when I called him up to console that you lost your father in an accident. And actually when we sent somebody home with white flowers, we learned from his wife that actually he had joined him before.
Oh my God.
So
I have scarier stories to tell.
I can share one.
I'm sure that all the leaders have gone through this in their professional life. So what I'm saying is that this was happening. I thought till a year back when it was a mad rush for talent, but it is happening even today. So one of the things which you shared that with Ira, you have ethical standards, but I think one of the requests from the industry is if you can ensure that verification of credentials of the candidates you put on the table. It will save a lot of time for all of us in the industry. And if you can create a forum where you have a website where all these guys who do a fraud, their details are fed. So that before you make an offer, you refer to that website that does this.
Like a credit rating agency.
Yeah, it's like credit rating agency.
We've been talking a lot about it in Ira, that we want to do this. It's a question of ruining somebody's life and a lot of moral issues that are going around.
Also legal issues. It's not just moral issue, it's a legal issue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your word against his word. It's not documented that
It's documented, all documented in the sense that this guy told us that he has worked for 7 years for Black & Decker. Actually, he had worked for 8 months.
All of this. There's so much fraud.
He said he has a degree from a particular university.
No, I'm just answering the question that if you put him on the website, there are some legal issues on that.
Yeah, I'm sure. But one has to guard the association which is putting that on the website through a legal
this thing.
But No, I'm saying it's a wish list. I don't know. Someday it will come true. I can tell you that.
Yes, but
Sorry.
I'll agree with Amandeep. This is very true because coming from a recruitment background only, you'll find a couple of people, they do this kind of thing. And I don't know why they do it, but I've faced it, a personal experience again.
This was
I
an
can
HR guy,
share.
I mean, you know.
I may share a similar experience at a very senior level. So
No, but
that's-
Amandeep, I've told you a story.
Head of HR.
Yes.
They've got the cards printed, they've attended that, that induction party, whatever, and have disappeared after 3 days and joined somebody else. These are very senior people, can't be named, but the fact is it does happen.
I think this is something related to person.
Yeah.
This is something very
Individual.
But a credential verification, I have found out that, you get that sense. If somebody lied on his CV about a 6-month gap or a 1-year gap or something, instantly your mind starts working. It's not in his CV. There's something then wrong. Somebody is lying about something. And then you start wondering. So I just think I'm also completely of the view that credential verification sometimes will tell you things that you could not imagine.
Yeah, like in Yamaha, what we are doing is we are doing third-party verification.
Yeah.
You started that.
So that is really helpful.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But you know what? We were proved oranges on this guy's report.
Even then.
Even then we ended up hiring him because I then talked to my colleague, the head of HR for the Siemens business. Okay, why did you go and get off? I mean, even I was flabbergasted in the interview, yeah.
He was
That so
fantastic.
good.
Yeah.
So he started looking his successor in that. He started pushing me, boss, give me another option to work at, and so on and so forth within 2 months. And that disappears.
So, Vinay,
Anyways, sorry.
keeping that whole, talking about whatever we've discussed, we also wanted a perspective of the tire industry from you, and then we're going to ask Gapan to tell us about the auto components industry. So, give us a view about how has it been, and what do you forecast for 2010 in terms of growth, and hence maybe talent acquisition.
Okay, good. Tire industry currently is hot.
Yes.
Though we cure the tire in a hot way, but it's actually hot. So we saw some bad patch. The bad patch was in 2008 for 4 to 5 months. Before that, going was good, and now going is better than what we had in early part of 2008.
So it's a really good year.
It's a really good year. So if you look